Hi. As you can see, I'm looking pretty snazzy, aren't I? Come on. Yeah, I just did a virtual event and it was awesome, but everything leading up to it was not. And it was terrifying, let's just be honest. I was like, help! That's how I felt inside, you know. I was like, ah! So, anyway, I just want to tell you real quick what happened. Last week, client called, let's do a virtual, setup to make sure it works. It's on a platform I'm not familiar with, where I've done a lot with Zoom and WebEx and GoToMeetings and Google Hangouts and Microsoft Teams and blah, 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 blah. Now it's a new one that I've never heard of, and I'm like, okay, let's try it. Try to log on. All she can see is that, which was like my PowerPoint screen. I was like, can you see me? She's like, no. All she could see was my logo, my face. And I was just like, oh man. But she could hear me, so that was good. So I got on the call later with their IT person. The IT person of the actual platform, which is interesting. And when we logged on, the guy was like, hey, what's the problem? I told him what happened. He said, oh, the host didn't give you permission to be able to do this or that. And I was like, oh, okay, so what do you think now? And then he was looking at this screen, and then he goes, is that your screen? I said, no, this is my screen. He goes, holy cow, man, you look like a YouTuber. And I was like, well, yeah, man, maybe I should be, bro. But I don't do YouTube like that much yet, Like, I guess I could be one of those cool YouTubers, but I don't know how to do that yet. Anyway, we're all set. So I tell the client we're good. So this week comes around. Yesterday we get on a call, make sure it all works. Video, boom, hi, close up. Oh yeah, looking good. And then audio, perfect, la 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 la. And we were like, this is amazing. Everything is working. And I was like, which is the opposite of usually what I'm doing. I tell a joke and I'm like, I know, I'm just kidding. But no, the truth of the matter is, that's what I hear most of the day. All right, and so anyway, today, I'm all ready. I've been working all morning, doing my push-ups. I know I don't look like I do push-ups, but I do push-ups. Usually I take a knee in the middle of the push-up, and then I log in for the call. I log in 15 minutes early because that's the earliest I'm allowed to log in. And they can see this, but they can't see this. So something's not right. And then I can't hear anything and they can't hear me. Now they were on a break for 15 minutes. And so now I'm going, oh boy, because I'd been testing this for a while. I log out. Log back in. Now, client can see this, and then they can see this. Yay! I couldn't hear them, they couldn't hear me. Now I'm going, what's going on? Like, it worked perfect yesterday. I didn't change anything on this setup, heavens. Like, why would I touch it? And we went back and forth. I'm texting as fast as I can. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I'm taking screenshots of what's going on. I'm like, this is what's happening. And they're just going, I don't know what to tell you. Log back out, log back in. So I did it again. Boom, boom. Try it again. Boom, boom. Logged out, logged back in, I think 5 times. 5 times I finally said, hey, look, all you can see is this, and this is a screen. They couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear them. So I tried to call in on my phone because there's always the emergency call in. This would have ruined the presentation, but I said, let's just at least get a connection. I thought, maybe if I call in, I can still do audio and they can still see me and my voice might just be off a little. Well, with this platform, you can only call and listen. You cannot call and have video as well. So I called, I could hear her. She could hear me, but it wasn't working. So I did what any good Utah boy does, and I knelt down and prayed, and that's a true story. I just turned everything off, I knelt down, I said, please! Now, why is this so important? It's just a gig, right? It's just a speech, just a 45-minute whatever. But to me, it's like life or death. To me, it's the most important thing in the world. I wanted it to be amazing. I wanted them to think I was amazing. I wanted to give them something amazing. In fact, they had also pre-purchased my book and sent it to every attendee. I was like, man, come on, work. It wouldn't work. I turned it on, went back through everything. It was now 10:47. I was supposed to be on at 10:45. I've never been late to a gig. And it worked. I don't know how. I don't know why. Nothing was different. Maybe permissions were granted that weren't before. I don't know. But I know this. It pretty much gave me a heart attack. I remember when I was in Afghanistan. This is not a Brian, what was his name? Brian Williams story. This is a real story. And I was flying in a Chinook, which is like a big giant helicopter, flying in a Chinook. David Archuleta and Dan Clark and Dean Kalin, we're all in our armor and we have our hats on, our helmets, hats, that'd be cool. Hey, nice hat, man. That's a helmet so I don't get blown up. All right. And so in wartime Afghanistan, we're flying to a gig to go perform and make everyone happy in this little small forward operating base. And as we're flying there, all of a sudden, we're being shot at by the Taliban. That's what they're telling us. We're being shot at. Get down. We're like, what the? And they're going, and they're returning fire to keep us protected. Now, I almost died. I thought I was going to die. I was looking around like, oh my heck. Imagine if this helicopter goes down, it'll say, David Archuleta and other entertainers die. And I was like, what's going to happen? We landed, we were safe, we hugged the dudes that were in their cool hats but were helmets and they looked like Darth Vader. And we're like, thank you, man, you saved our life. And they're like, you know, they'd flipped up their helmet. It was like an 18-year-old kid. He's all, hey, man, anytime. I'm from Alabama. And I was like, wow, hi. You saved my life. He's like, yeah, man, here we go. U.S. troops forever. And I was like, yes, sir. I'm all for it. And so I'm just saying, those guys saved our lives. We went in and we performed for the troops. It was a great blessing. But today, on a Zoom call, that's not even a Zoom call. That's what we call it now. It wasn't Zoom. If it was Zoom, this wouldn't have happened. On a normal online virtual call, I felt the same feeling as being shot at by the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I was standing in my house, and I was trying to get on a Zoom, on a webinar call. That's how much it means to me. I know that that event planner was freaking out too. We did our best not to go completely crazy, but I don't know. I mean, to me, it's important. To me, these gigs are like the real deal. And I didn't want to let them down. They didn't want to let their people down. I was able to keep the promise. And you know, when it was over, I got done exactly on time. And I said thank you, and I went, good luck. And they said, thank you, Jason, that was amazing. And I literally collapsed to the ground. And I sat. I'm not messing around. I took my microphone off. I turned all the cameras off. And I went and I sat in my front living room for 90 minutes. An hour and a half, I sat there like this. What just happened? It was like the craziest thing. And that's what this gig life has become. I used to get all of these cool and now I get what? And that's okay. I want to do virtual. I want to deliver. And equally, I want to not die. I don't want to have a heart attack because of this. But this pushed me to the limit. I'm telling you what. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Whatever your work day is like, I hope is better than mine today. And then I had another Zoom call after that and it wasn't like a performance, it was just a Zoom call. And the client saw what I can do in here, and they saw that I can do all of these cool camera angles and do the piano stuff, and they were just like, "Wow, man, how do you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, I'm amazing. I have the best setup ever." And they're just like, "Whoa, you know what you're doing." And I was like, "I do. Unless the platform stinks." And so, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that story makes you laugh a little and feel bad a little. And at the same time, sometimes you just got to pray. And then your audio works again. No, really, the best part, I was going to do like a freeze frame where I wanted to just give the client a complete panic attack, and not in a mean way, but just kind of funny, like, you know, and they're like, "Oh my gosh," that's what I wanted to do. Or like a freeze, you know, where I'm just like, "So anyway, then I went into the bar and said," "Just kidding." You're not supposed to do that on a Zoom call. So it doesn't work in person. You can't be on stage like, "Hey," and then I went into the bar and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's funnier this way. How long can I hold this? My eyes are burning. Okay. I love you. Hope you have a great day.